All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to FrontFundr's August Pitch Perfect edition. We're just going to give everyone a couple minutes to join in here. So just for everyone to keep in mind, this presentation may contain forward-looking information. There can be no assurance that forward-looking information will prove to be accurate, as actual results and future events could differ materially from those anticipated in such statements. Accordingly, viewers should not place undue reliance on forward-looking information. I'm going to get started by turning things over to Jill, the CEO of Fatso.
Hi, my name is Jill Van Gene. I'm the founder and CEO of Fatso Peanut Butter. I'm really excited to be pitching to everybody today. We've just launched our campaign. We are trying to raise $250,000 on FrontFundr of a $3 million raise. So if you don't know what Fatso is, it's an all-natural peanut butter enriched with plant-based fats. It comes in 3 hyper-indulgent flavors: classic, crunchy, salted caramel, and maple. So I started Fatso in 2016 and ran that as a solo operation until 2018, when we acquired a scalable co-packer, went national with distribution, and acquired listings in the US with Whole Foods Market. Really, our goal was to offer the most nutrient-dense, tastiest nut butter on the market without using palm oil or sugar, and price it in a way that's competitive or lower priced than specialty nut butters such as your almond and cashew butters. Today, we're a national brand. We're in most chains, Sobeys, Loblaws, Metro, Whole Foods, most independents and co-ops right across the country, with over 2,500 doors in Canada, and growing in the United States with 300 plus doors, mainly in Texas and the Pacific Northwest. So what sets us apart from other nut butters? I mean, it must be hard to reinvent, just crushed up nuts in a jar. And we set out to do just that. So we really do stand out on the shelf. We're one of the only B Corp certified nut butter companies in Canada, one of only 3 in North America. We really stake a claim on not using palm oil or sugar in our product. In fact, almost 93% of nut butters that use more than one ingredient in their nut butters will list palm oil or sugar as their second ingredient. I'm just going to let that sink in a little bit here. So we really aim to stand out by never using palm oil or sugar to enhance flavor or texture. And we're a very growth guided company. So back in 2020, we landed on the Maclean's startup list, 18 of 80 fastest growing startups in Canada. We're one of the only nut butter companies that started locally that has broken through into the national scene and into the US. And we plan on replicating the success we've had in Canada down into the US and the Western United States, hopefully with Whole Foods and with Sprouts Natural Markets. So how are we going to use all this money? So the first thing we want to do is really ensure that we're taking care of our own backyard here in Canada. So we've built an incredible following on social media with over 30,000 followers on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. So we want to capitalize on that momentum and that groundswell and really drive into the brand awareness to drive velocities in Canada. As I mentioned, we want to expand aggressively into the United States. We have a highly strategic plan to do that, really capitalizing on independents, co-ops, mid-level chains, building the community that we built here in Canada around the product in the US. And product development. I mean, this is the foundation. We want to break out of the nut butter aisle and do some really interesting, fun things in something we call nutritional indulgence. So focusing on great nutrition, whole ingredients, but making it taste amazing without sacrifice. And finally, we want to build out a robust direct-to-consumer market in the US. This is a great vehicle for brand awareness, and I think this can really help to drive our expansion in the US and our sales velocity up in Canada. So I do have some big news, and it's exclusive to the Pitch Perfect event today. We are going to be landing on shelves in Walmart National in Canada. We'll be starting with our classic SKU, so 1 SKU to start. This is a really important listing for us. It really solidifies us as a mainstream brand. We're no longer niche. We're no longer like a specialty. We really want to compete with your junky teddy bear peanut butter. So really big news, and exclusively, we're sharing that with you folks today. Just to round up, so $250,000 raise on FrontFundr. We're one of the fastest growing nut butter companies in Canada. We win on shelf every time against our competitors by balancing nutrition, flavor, and value. And we're going to be digging into product innovation, US expansion, direct to consumer, and marketing and brand awareness campaigns with the $3 million we hope to raise. So if you'd like to invest, I have a QR code here that will link you directly to our FrontFundr site. You can reach out directly to me at peanutsplease@eatfatso.com. And yeah, I'm an open book. Any questions, reach out anytime, and we hope to see you on our cap table. Thanks.
That's amazing. Fantastic pitch, Jill. And what an amazing announcement with Walmart. So congratulations on what that means for the business. That's just incredible. So for those listening today, if you have any questions for any of the pitches, please do ask them through the Q&A chat, and we'll get to those after the end of each session. You can also go visit the campaign pages and reach out to the companies directly from there. Jill, I know you mentioned a little bit kind of about the current product SKUs, and you have some great plans for some fantastic product innovation on the horizon as well. So I'd love to know a little bit more about how you assess those opportunities for new product development.
Yeah, I think one of the big learnings that we had with Fatso was we landed firmly, without intention, I have to say, into the keto sphere. And this is a really interesting development for health and wellness, for specialty diet plans, because people are very committed to this type of diet. But what I found is we've seen a lot of companies come out with keto products, and that means no sugar, no carbs, or low carbs. I did keto myself, and what we're seeing is consumers turn towards lower sugar, whole ingredients. So it's sort of the fallout of keto. And what we want to do is create some products that are hyper-indulgent, don't sacrifice on flavor. And I don't want to put down any keto companies because there's so many good ones out there. But in my experience, whenever I eat like a keto bar or like cake or a cereal, I'm like, this is delicious and it tastes keto. So I really want to make sure that we're offering something that's really flavorful, people can feel good about. I don't like to use the word guilt-free because you shouldn't feel guilty about any food you're eating. But we do want to create things that people feel good about and taste amazing, but really focusing on that low sugar component because a lot of the stuff we eat is oversweetened. So that's really how we've identified the trajectory that we want to take with product development. We're looking at sort of baked goods style products and some other things that I'm going to have to keep under my hat for now. But yeah, we're really excited about some of the innovations we're planning on coming out with.
That's fantastic. Yeah, super exciting to hear that. For anyone who hasn't tried Fatso, I encourage you to do it. I've been lucky enough to have some in my pantry currently. It's a great product, so definitely encourage you all to check it out. One of the things you mentioned as well, Jill, is that Fatso is a B Corp company. So perhaps for those who are less aware, maybe you could explain a little bit about what B Corp is and how important that certification is to the mission of Fatso.
Yeah, so B Corp is essentially a way to codify our commitment to balancing purpose with profit. So what we started out to do, I mean, my background was actually in international development. So when I started Fatso, I thought if I can start to use some of the success and resources to better the community and some of the causes that I align myself with, I'm going to do that. So I was doing that way back in 2016, but I think for us, it became important to really codify that. So we actually, our articles of incorporation make us a public benefit company. So this means we actually have to ensure that we are fair practices for employees, that we have certain things in place that move us towards environmental sustainability. And we are always looking for new ways to give back to our community because our community has given so freely to us. So that's really been the driving factor behind it. It's, you know, increasingly important for companies that are highly profit driven to have a purpose behind them. Just the way the world is, many consumers want to see companies, you know, drive some sort of purpose within their company mandate. And we have no problem doing that. We did it before we became B Corp, and we'll do it in perpetuity because we believe that, you know, these type of things are super important.
That's amazing. Absolutely. And I think we just have a comment here coming through saying it's a huge accomplishment on the B Corp. So congratulations to you on that. It's definitely great to see companies balancing that purpose and that profit, like you said. So that's hugely important. We also had another question come through the Q&A that looks like it's about 6 questions in one. So let's maybe see what we can tackle here.
Okay.
One of the things they asked is kind of where the product is made and how are the ingredients sourced. So perhaps let's start with that one.
Yeah, so we actually have an incredible co-packer out in Atlantic, Canada. So they've been in the nut butter industry since the 1930s. So an incredible depth of experience and knowledge on their part. They have produced for some of our biggest competitors as well, which is one of the reasons why we wanted to align with them. Highly scalable, ready to, they're FDA approved. They have one of the highest SQF ratings in North America for their type of facility. So that means quality control, health and safety, and like ingredient monitoring. Ingredients are sourced from all over. Most people want to know where our peanuts are sourced. They come mainly from Georgia, Alabama, and Texas. So Southern United States is really where we bring in most of our peanuts, but we source from all over the world. Coconut oil is from the Philippines. So we have a number of different ways we bring that in. And Barber's is our key method of sourcing. So we have our co-packer reaching out on our behalf and negotiating. And because of their depth of experience, they're really able to negotiate excellent prices on our behalf.
That's amazing. Absolutely. And some of the other sub questions off of that questions, there's a lot of great information on Jill's campaign page. So in terms of how she's differentiated from other products, there's actually a great competitive features chart that shows where Fatso is compared to the other brands. And there is some information on margins and pricing, but do feel free to follow up with Jill on some specific questions there, as we might not have time to get to everything today. We did have another question come through asking about any expansion plans to the West African market. Maybe you could talk through a little bit about what your next expansion plans are quickly here, Jill.
Yeah, it's so funny that somebody asked that, because I was just hanging out with somebody from Burkina Faso last night, and I was talking with her about how amazing the peanuts are. Because I lived in Uganda for a little bit and have these beautiful, small, extra sweet little nuts, and it is the best peanut butter in the world. We don't have expansion plans for that specific market right now. Nothing's out of the question, but we'd be hard pressed to compete against that peanut butter because it is otherworldly. But the US is really where we're going to set our sights. It's going to be the easiest for us to be able to transport down there. And we already have some incredible runway. If some of you have tuned into the campaign updates, you'll know that a couple of weeks ago, we met with Whole Foods Global in Austin to discuss expanding to the Northern California region and the Southern Pacific region, which are the two most coveted and largest regions in the Whole Foods portfolio. So fingers crossed for that. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I mean, global domination is always the goal. So we would certainly include West Africa in that.
That's great. Well, thank you so much, Jill. Fantastic pitch presentation. Thank you for responding to these questions here. If anyone else does have questions for Jill, I do recommend you check out her campaign page, frontfundr.com/Fatso. You can invest for a minimum of $500. So very exciting opportunity. And Jill, thank you for delivering a fantastic pitch. I see even some peanuts in the background there. So definitely love the Fatso brand. So thanks so much for your time today. So wrapping up our presentation today, just for those who might be new to FrontFundr, just wanted to give a quick high level as to what FrontFundr is and where you guys can find information about investing in these fantastic private companies. So we're Canada's leading equity crowdfunding platform. We make it easy for all Canadians to invest in Canada's most exciting startups and growth stage businesses, just like those you all had the pleasure of hearing from today, for as little as $250. We've done over 100 raises now, raising over $120 million across 15,000 investments, and we've got a community of over 34,000 users. So for those who do have questions about how to get started, definitely encourage you to go visit FrontFundr.com. If you have any questions about how to make an investment, we have great resources available on the website itself. And you can also reach out to our team at support@frontfundr.com with any questions that you might have. So thank you so much for your time. We hope to see you back on the next edition of Pitch Perfect. So thanks everyone and have a great day.